If you're 65 or older and you filed a tax return this year, pause for a moment, because what I'm about to share could be one of the most important pieces of information for your retirement finances. The IRS has implemented a rule that directly benefits older taxpayers, yet very few people are talking about it. And we're not just talking about a little bit of savings. Over time, this can mean thousands of dollars left unclaimed simply because no one pointed it out to you. The tough part is that many seniors only learn about this after the window to claim it has closed. And at that point, the opportunity is gone. But the fact that you're watching now means you may still have time to act. In this video, I'll explain what this IRS provision is, who it applies to, and the straightforward steps you can take so you don't accidentally miss out, the kind of information a tax preparer should flag, but often doesn't. If it helps you, please tap like so more seniors see it in time. Let's start from square one, so that whether you've filed your own returns for years or always rely on an accountant, you'll understand what's going on and why it matters. The IRS adjusts the tax rules almost every year. Some changes are minor, some are highly technical, and some, like this one, can have a significant effect on millions of Americans. But when a change is favorable to seniors, there's no big announcement or simple mailer, just updates to official documents written in complex language that most people never read, and as a result, the very people who stand to benefit often never hear about it. The rule we're focusing on is tied to something called the standard deduction. And while that might sound dry, it's actually very simple once you strip away the jargon. Everyone who files a federal tax return has a choice. Either itemize deductions, listing individual eligible expenses like medical costs, charitable giving, and mortgage interest, or claim the standard deduction, which is a fixed amount the IRS allows you to subtract from your income before computing your tax. Many people, especially retirees, use the standard deduction because it's easier and, for them, larger than what they'd get by itemizing. Here's where it becomes especially important for older adults. Once you reach age 65, the tax code provides an additional standard deduction amount just for you, and if you're married and both spouses are at least 65, there's an extra amount for each of you. This add-on increases periodically, and in recent years, those increases have been more noticeable due to higher inflation. What that means in practice is simple. Every dollar your deduction goes up is a dollar of income that is not taxed. So for someone in, say, the 22% bracket, an extra $2,000 of deduction could translate to roughly $440 less owed in federal tax, and across multiple years, that can really add up. The catch is that this only helps if the additional amount is actually being claimed on your return, and many seniors aren't getting the full benefit. Sometimes taxpayers don't realize they qualify. Sometimes a busy tax preparer misses a box or doesn't double-check the age information, and sometimes people keep filing the same way they did 20 years ago, not realizing the rules have changed in their favor. Imagine someone like Barbara, 71, living alone on Social Security and a small pension. Every year she brings her folder of documents to a storefront tax office, trusts the person on the other side of the desk, and signs where she's told, but no one ever explains that her standard deduction should be higher because of her age. So for several years, she overpays by hundreds of dollars per year without knowing it. Unfortunately, that scenario is not unusual. It's not about carelessness. It's about a complicated system and helpers who don't always take the time to walk seniors through every benefit available to them. So what can you do? The first action step is to look at your most recent federal return, Form 1040, and find the section that shows your standard deduction. There is a small checkbox on that form indicating that you, and if applicable your spouse, are 65 or older. If that box is correctly marked, the standard deduction amount on the form should already include the additional senior amount. But if you're not sure, or if you don't see anything reflecting your age, that's a sign you should ask questions. If you realize you may have missed this in a past filing, the IRS allows you to correct certain mistakes by filing an amended return, Form 1040X, for prior years, generally going back up to 3 filing seasons, which for some seniors could mean reclaiming a meaningful sum. If handling that on your own feels intimidating, you don't have to do it alone. You can ask your tax preparer to review your recent returns specifically for the senior standard deduction. Or, if cost is an issue, you can look into free assistance programs, such as the IRS-sponsored Volunteer Income Tax Assistance, VITA, and Tax Counseling for the Elderly, TCE. where trained volunteers help qualifying taxpayers at no charge. I also want to gently address a common fear. Many seniors worry that amending a return or digging deeper into their taxes will somehow invite trouble with the IRS, but claiming a deduction you are clearly entitled to, like the additional standard deduction based on age, is not a red flag. It is simply using the law as it was written, and the provision exists because Congress and the IRS recognize that older Americans face unique financial challenges. The bigger picture here is that in retirement, when income often comes from a mix of Social Security, pensions, savings, and part-time work, every dollar can make a difference to your sense of security, and making sure you're not overpaying your taxes is one of the more straightforward ways to strengthen your position. So take a little time to check. Ask for help if you need it, and don't let something that was designed to help you go unused just because no one mentioned it. This video is for general education only and is not tax, legal, or financial advice. Always consult a qualified professional about your specific situation. But if this gave you something to act on, consider sharing it so more seniors can learn about it while there's still time.